Hello and welcome to BonkTable. I'm Mass in the Conquest Banner Report. I am in Saskatoon doing round 2. This is obviously recorded after doing the Saskatoon event in Canada. It was held in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. I don't make the names. They're just that long and they're just that weird. I am once again playing Dweghom, Frenzy Flame. Woo! Raegh, woo! Reason why I'm playing that is I plan to take it to Adepticon. I wanted to do a bunch of events, get a bunch of games in, get that practice, also play locally so I can get some Worlds points for Canada and not qualify as an American, because that would be bad. I would not be going to Worlds or have a chance to go to Worlds if I was playing as an American and get qualified for an American. So after the Saskatoon event, I will have November Tournament of Love, Saskatoon 2, what I'm calling this one. So I'll be 3 Canadian events, and I'll be going to Adepticon. This is being recorded on a Sunday. Adepticon is happening literally the next weekend, so we'll see how well that goes, and we'll record that one after it's all done. So I'll have my 5 events for my points, and it'll be great. Alright, let's get into the games, let's get into the matchups and all that stuff. Here's game 1. We got my 3 units of Flame Berserkers, what I got on turn 1, into my opponent's Wadroon. He's playing, I don't know, what is it? Tribes Wadroon, so he's got a Predator and Slingers, another unit of Slingers. We're playing on Echelon, so like you have your friendly objective back here, and your 2 neutrals. I'll just do them in purple, screw it, right there. We have 2 buildings that are kind of, split up the board. I'll do it in, let's say, orange, sure. Like right here, that's a massive wall. Like it doesn't look like a wall, but building an objective marker, you can't really get a lot through. You can get like a 2-stander through if you line up for it, but that basically says that zone is mine and my opponent will have to run around the entire side of this building to get to me or try and get through that. If they do ever engage that objective, I know they'll sit there for like 2 or 3 turns, so I'll be great for me. And that's the big reason why I send this Flame Berserker over here, because they're just going to sit in these woods, score this zone, and once, the rest of the match happens, they're going to move up to that position and try and zone out anybody getting in there. My opponent does have Hunting Pack, what is pretty quick to get in behind, but it'll give me plenty of time to counter deploy and kill them, if it ever comes down to that. So this zone, basically on the right side, is mine for the entirety of the game. There's no real fight or work for it. That does mean I have to go fight my opponent. We got like a forest here, hill, another forest. These are fields, so this is, I believe, broken and obscuring. It's not hindering, so sitting in that's pretty good. My opponent will have some, I believe at some points, difficulty like shooting through it at various points, just because of how things line up and how the match goes on. But that's kind of it. Is that a unit of Hunting Pack? Hold on, my opponent, I'll just do it in black. If there's a unit of Hunting Pack right here, I'm gonna blame it on my opponent. This is a gentleman named Reese from Calgary. I've been staying in Jeff's basement, and he stayed in the basement, and it was like, woo, woo, we're just partying. It was just like a bunch of us in Jeff's basement, just screwing around. Poor guy. But, we hung out the previous day when he showed up into Saskatoon, and then we played round 1. So, it's always good when that happens. But anyway, this is positioning. The other 2 Flame Berserkers were literally just kind of looking to deal with this, deal with that, and project threat that way. I need to build up a bit of my forces till I really go in. I don't really want to just get shot randomly. I am using the hill in black and the forest to keep myself safe against those guns. My opponent really wants to project a lot of threat on that side and board denial. That's okay, I got defensive training to help me get there. Alright, let's go to turn 2. Here's turn 2. I get, I think, another unit of Flame Berserks, looks like that, and a Kerawegh with Magmaforged. My opponent gets a bunch of stuff. He's got his Chieftain and his Vets. He's got an MSU Vets. He's got his Chosen of Conquest. Oh yeah, there it is. I'll just do it in, screw it, do it in black. Got the Hunting Pack. My opponent, we're really just jockeying for position here. I have no reason to do anything. My opponent does have Vanguard. So I think that zone is at the 18-inch line. It's a 9-incher, so it's 4.5 inches back. So 18 subtract 4 is 14, so 13.5. So if they can move 14 inches, you can get on that zone. I believe those veterans are speed 5, so it'll be 10, 11, and then if Vanguard is 3, that's 14. Yeah, so get on that zone. So my opponent in green is scoring the zone. I myself, I just kind of wiggle around here. I have no reason to go any more forward. As you can see with my Flame Berserkers, I start performing, I'll just do it in like, we'll do it in orange, like this sideline right here to set the line of engagement, and then I want to like kind of push that way to keep them off my zone and start threatening theirs. I have no reason to really engage this or go anywhere forward to it because I need to bring in more force to counteract the 2 units of we'll do it in orange, slingers. Slingers on the other hand, you can tell they kind of move up a little bit. These slingers take shots of the guys in the woods, kill off a stand. I start, shuffling around, moving guys up. His hunting pack kind of stay back there. He doesn't want to commit just yet. I don't blame him. He's setting up if I ever bring those Flame Berserkers into the slingers, the hunting pack can hit them. And just kind of, protecting his flanks and doing really well there. So he's got a really good turn 1 and turn 2 setup to counterattack any early aggression. But I'm okay waiting right now. I just want to bring a lot more force to bear, and then I'm going to go from there. However, I do know in the black here that this is going to be a huge impasse for my opponent, and I'm very much fine having that there, because now I have efficiently locked out this unit of vets, who are going to have a very difficult time trying to clear that objective, either trying to march over it, or if they want to get stuck in fighting the objective, they can go right ahead to fight that thing. It'll give me plenty of time to counter, and I'll just do it in I'll do it in this burgundy color, just to put a unit right there and keep them off my zone, and then, collapse in on them. Alright, that's turn 2, let's go to turn 3. Here's turn 3. So, things finally start happening. I declare that it's go time, and my opponent thinks so it's 2. I get both my, in red, Ironclad, my other Magmaforged, and it looks like 1 unit of my Hold Raegh and his Hold Thanes. We kind of dirtle around for a little bit. My opponent, on the other hand, gets his Hunting Pack and his Apex. I don't know if he has anything else. This is I'm recording this and it's been like 2 weeks, so I'm kind of going for my long bomb memory here. Oh, I have another, yeah, and my other unit of Magmaforged. Oh no, they were already there. Never mind. So, I realize it's kind of go time and I gotta start setting that line of engagement and pushing into my opponent to keep them off. I believe my opponent brings the slingers up a little too far to shoot at me. Doesn't do very well, and then I just march charge the Flame Berserkers into the slingers. This jams up his whole positioning. His veterans are stuck behind those slingers. He can't actually, I'll do it in purple. He can't actually get in here to fight off these Flame Berserks. The other slingers don't do very well, and these Flame Berserks basically just run up to get into the woods to keep safe, but also zone out those veterans because they won't have a spot to land properly. With the ends on top of that, the other units engage. I also cast the, I'll do it in burgundy, the +2 scoring spell. I believe it's Rancor. So there is 1, 2, 3. So it'll be 4 scoring stands and 6 contesting stands. And my opponent has, I don't know, 3 scoring stands, so I beat them out and they don't score. So I've locked down that zone for a turn. I'll just put I don't know, we'll do this color. Bloop. That's not getting scored. In response, on the right side, my opponent decides to reform to start marching through this. What probably should have done to begin with, but they kind of realized later in the game that that objective and that whole wall there was just bad. The other issue they have is that the hunting pack are going to have difficulties getting through as well. So now that they're doing that positioning, I move the Flame Berserkers up to start countering. I then put the Hold Warriors and the Hold Raegh to start getting into that zone to start stalling it out. I'm fine with that exchange. They can just grind there. I'm going to own that zone until the Hold Raegh dies. It'll give me enough time to bring other things over. That's a-okay with me. I believe these other slingers took shots at these guys. Then these guys went and just kind of charged into the hunting pack to lock them down. The hunting pack might have finagled in the wrong card spot, so they didn't really were able to, he thought I was going to do something earlier, but I didn't. Because now that his front line's getting kind of gummed up with Flame Berserks, he does a smart thing and bring up his Apex to kind of counter any of that stuff. I want to hold him back as long as possible, so I want to slow kill all these slingers while I bring up the rest of my force. So I got, you know, the Ironclad who's looking to move up as well, the Magmaforged and the Ardent Kerawegh to move up, and this other Ironclad will do Burgundy. He's going to go for this objective, you know, on turn 4. And that's going to put me in a good spot. The Magmaforged are also, I'll just do it in Burgundy, are in a good spot to keep pushing after the Flame Berserkers die. So I'm now starting to project a lot of that force. I've set the line of engagement to right here. And I'm on that zone, stalling him out, looking to gain those little point advantages and keep the score onto my end and just keep pushing my opponent back, and hopefully I can score my opponent's zone. So with that, I score some points. Let's get into turn 4. Here's turn 4. So a lot of things go down. Things that start off, I believe it's just a bunch of Flame Berserks into each other. So, you know, Flame Berserk the first goes in, kills off a bunch of slingers. They're not having a good time. I think I wait for that Flame Berserk to go into like the very last one, to be honest. So let's back that up a little bit. Probably first Flame Berserk, to be honest, is these guys to lock down these slingers. Does a bunch of damage, but I do a little too much damage, or Aura Death kicks in a little too much. What frees up the Apex to then get a charge off later. My Flame Berserkers kill those Hunting Pack, and then the Apex charges inside and mulches those Flame Berserkers. That's fine. I counter with my Hold Warriors to like zone out the Apex by Vanguard deploying off the side, but also bring my Ironclad up so that he can't get into me because he'll hit my Hold Warriors, but my Ironclad can get into the side of his Apex. So that Apex is being set up to die. Magmaforged, as you can see, run up. I don't know how they lost stands, to be honest. It might have been like shots from something, but I couldn't remember or tell you exactly why they lost, but, you know, stuff is engaged. Back here in purple, veterans run up to start plugging up some gaps because he's realizing a lot of his work units, like the slingers, are dying very quickly. With the slingers dead, I'm pretty sure the veterans, I think they might have... Oh, you know what? The veterans, after the slingers got cleared, I don't remember what happened. I moved my Magmaforged up and the veterans came in here. So I'll just draw that in. They didn't really get a good charge just to finagle their way through. And that's why these Magmaforged, after the Flame Berserkers killed off those slingers, was able to charge into the flank and kill a bunch of veterans. Sadly, my opponent's Scion and Chosen a Conquest kind of activated a little early. I think he was thinking I was going to kill the slingers very quickly, but he didn't put them low enough in the stack, so they didn't get to counterattack anything very well. Ironclad, I'll do it in green, kills the objective, yay. Also in green, I have a ton of stands on this, so I'm going to score that. Hold Raegh and his whole thing, you know, they just do a reform, and, you know, everyone over here on the right is just getting ready to deal with the Hunting Pack and the veterans. My opponent decides to, like, reform and charge the, what is this? The objective. I believe his impacts fail, so he doesn't do any damage. Now he's going to be stuck there for a while. And the Hunting Pack decide that is now a good move to come in from behind. That move should have been happening like a turn or two earlier. The right side is starting to collapse. He's trying to plug holes, but once again, this wall on the right is just allowing me to force concentrate into the fight on the left. And there's nothing really going on the right until much later in the game, but by that point I've taken over the left side. So let's keep going. I believe this was turn... This is either 4 or 5. Yeah, this would probably be 4, so let's go to 5. Alright, so here's turn 5. Apex. Forced to kill the Hold Warriors. My opponent doesn't want to give me anything. I don't blame him. Ironclad into the side of the Apex. It's dead. Slingers and Flame Berserkers just duke it out. I kind of roll bad, but the Slingers are just getting beat up anyway. What means my opponent can't get the veterans into the Flame Berserk, so he just kind of moves over because he's losing cards. I'm not exactly sure. It looks like the... Hold on, I'm just going to do it in orange. I'm not exactly sure how this battle went anymore. It's been a while, as I have said, due to time recording. So the Flame Berserkers are dead, so I'm going to assume the Chosen a Conquest charged the Flame Berserkers, killed them, and then I basically probably just did a reform and charge into the Chosen a Conquest while moving up my Ironclad so that the Chosen are pinned and I can get the Ironclad in there and kill them. And if the Chosen go first, they're going to kill the Magmaforged. But then the Ironclad's around to kill them. But if I get the drop, the Ironclad's going to go first. So, it's a trade in my favor. I got the Ardent Kerawegh and the Magmaforged. Oh, you know what? They probably just ran around. In there. Just kind of hanging out. I think they're rallied, and I also have an Ironclad in there, so I have way more scoring stance. So I'm pretty sure I score that thing. The dirtling continues over on the right. I score that. Hold Raegh, he's just getting ready to, he just moves over and reforms so that he can look at those hunting pack. But as you can see on the right side, just coming around. They're going to be taking a while, that's fine. And the Flame Berserkers have literally no reason to go here just yet or do anything because the veterans are just kind of hanging out. Besides that, left side's kind of collapsed enough into my favor. I still need to be careful because, with Wadroon, dice can go either way. But I think I'm in a really good spot. I'm scoring the zones. We're in a good spot. Let's go into turn 6. Here's turn 6. By the looks at it, I decided to get the Ironclad to go first. Kill off the Chosen of Conquest, so they're dead. Sorry, guys. He's on the zone, so he's scoring it, and the Magmaforged start running around, trying to catch the veterans in the back. The veteran's still fighting that ejector marker. Haven't killed it yet. Still on 2 wounds. Flame Berserkers still hanging out. Flame Berserkers kill the Slingers. Ironclad looks like charges into the vets and kills them. Doesn't look like he moved very far up. I don't know if the vets kind of came in and tried to kill Flame Berserkers, but didn't do so well. Or whatever is going on there. I don't know what these Magmaforged are currently doing. Not gonna lie, no idea. Also looks like because my opponent's running out of cards and I just have Hold Warriors at the bottom of my deck, they probably just ran around here. And I looked at it and was like, well, it's a 4. I'm scoring the zone anyway, and I went for it and did a bunch of damage and, killed a bunch of hunting pack. So it's really just the vets left, and I'm starting to collapse and bring everything on the left side over. And that's A-okay with me. So, I don't know what turn this is, but we'll go to the next one. Alright, I found out that this is turn 7. Good job, me. I'm going to mark that down. There we go. Okay. Opponent. Clashes, charges. Oh, cool. There we go. Not going to correct that. Clashes, charges the Flame Berserkers, kills the ejector marker. Well done on them. Does a bunch of damage to Flame Berserkers fight back, do some damage. Magmaforged and the Kerawegh started to come in from behind. Ironclad reforms and starts coming in from the side, so it's looking to try and get those veterans. Hold Warriors and Hold Raegh kill off the hunting pack. Zone is still mine, and then the rest of the army is starting to move that way while scoring that zone. So this is going to be pretty quick. That's turn 7. Let's go to 8. Here's turn 8. My opponent kills my Flame Berserks. You know what? I'll do it in red. Sorry, I'll do it in red. And then gets the veterans into the Hold Warriors. Hold Warriors reform. Clash back. Ironclad Drake. He just probably march charges into the back of the veterans. I'll do it in burgundy. The Magmaforged are starting to come in. So everyone's starting to collapse on these veterans. And I'm pretty sure I just decided at this point, like, the rest of the list does not matter. That should be enough power to kill the veterans if need be. They are very durable and a very good unit. Like, Flurry on them is really powerful. At this point, my opponent is just kind of, like, struggling to fight against me, and I'm still in that zone scoring it, so still collecting my points. Let's go on, I believe, this is turn 8, turn 9? I think 9's the last turn. Okay, here's turn 9. I believe my opponent gets the roll-off, kills my Hold Warriors. Ironclad goes in the back, kills them off. I score both zones for 2 additional turns. There's nowhere else for me to run to score more points. There's no way. I'll just do in burgundy to get over to this zone over here. Just do in blue, this ejector marker, and score that. So I just kind of sit in the zones and take out my points. Let's go look at that score. Here's the score. So, victory for Mass. Thank you, Reese, for playing. Some key parts about this game is that what can I really say? That right side with the building ejector marker and other building basically just locked down that entire side from my opponent, and there's no way they could interact with it. Probably should have called the judge to move the train around so it was more interactable, to be honest. I just kind of set up and played. And my opponent should have seen that and put his MSU vets over there. We were kind of talking about it after, and I believe we talked about switching the big block of vets to his stronger side where all the fighting was happening, and his weaker side or his MSU vets to the objective side, because that MSU vets is still going to take the objective, or the ejector marker, but also can actually get past the ejector marker in the building to squeeze in there while the hunting pack goes around. And then we just play like footsies with each other until it's go time and you have both the hunting pack and the veterans hit the units in that zone, and then go have the fight from there, and he has a better chance of winning it. On the left side, he kind of got gummed up with his slingers and should have made sure that he could get his melee units in front of his slingers. Yes, he can't fire over it, and he's going to have a turn of like inefficient shots, but he's going to keep his slingers around that are going to be good either way, and he can move them into a better position later on. They're volley 3 base and are going to be like have 4 shots each, so you can move them into a better position until you get that really nice position where you can just kind of lay shots into people. It's okay to like sacrifice some shot efficiency early in the game to keep them alive longer and get more efficiency out of them in the later game. The longer your range units survive, the more work they're just going to do over the course of the game. And getting your melee stuff in front of your range shooters and then just moving your range shooters around while shooting just kind of keeps it going. That 5th wound and durability from Withdrawn Infantry just kind of keeps your stuff around like a turn earlier or a turn extra. And that's round 1. So good job myself. Thank you, Reese, for the game. Let's go into round 2. So here's round 2. I'm playing Will, who's playing an Old Dominion with 2 units of Morai, 2 units of Cultists. They will now be referred to as Bottle Kids going forward, and Fallen Divinity. There she is. We're playing, what is it? Decline Flank, the one where you shut off a zone. So we're just using the ejector markers to like show off which zone is being turned off. This game doesn't go so well as me compared to the first. Big issue, only 1 unit of Flame Berserkers. It's really tough playing, like coming back from, I guess like a list that's going to be very aggressive. Like my opponent's going to push in really far with those Morai, and I need to kill them efficiently because he's also going to disrupt my lines, and only having 1 unit of Flame Berserker is really going to hurt. I won't get any more Flame Berserkers into turn 3, and my opponent's going to be right up in my face. So you got to kill your opponent, push them off, and claim as much zones as possible. What just kind of really sucks going forward. So that's really turn 1. Both Morai, you only need 1 success on like 3 dice to get them to teleport, so they're way up there. Both characters are on, and the Fallen Divinity. My opponent's making a massive push for like this side of the table, what's fine. It's also going to be really tough to deal with. He currently only has 1 scoring thing, but he has like 2 units of Legionaries. He's going to do that trick where the Morai are going to like teleport, and then he's going to side march Legionaries from the back to Vanguard into stuff. So he's going to have a lot of, a lot of scoring potential that way, and the Morais are just going to set his reinforcement line so far forward. This is really turn 1. I kind of just put myself in the middle because I didn't know where any of his stuff was going. I maybe should have picked a corner a little more, like, as you'll see the game develops, I kind of pick this corner, but I make a bunch of mistakes because I'm playing from behind, and it is tough playing from behind. So let's go to turn 2. Here's turn 2. Do a little better. I got both my Ardent Keraweghs and my Magmaforged, and I think that's my Hold Raegh with his Hold Warriors, so doing a little better there. My opponent gets, thank goodness, 1 unit of Legionaries. That's it. Nothing else shows up. But the Morai get the drop onto these Flame Berserkers here. As you can see, they just, do their teleport charge, breaks them. That really, really sucked. And then I'm going to have 2 units of Magmaforged who can, like, slap them, but I just needed some stuff earlier. I believe these Morai make the attempt to go in, but they fail the charge, so they don't. But the rest of my opponent's list, he's just run up the table. My opponent does score this zone over here, and I'm not scoring anything right now. So I keep that stone open just to hopefully keep the Fallen Divinity over there as long as possible, because I don't need to deal with it. I have more stuff I gotta deal with. I initially start making this side my strong side. As the game develops, you'll see kind of why that's wrong and also where my mistakes are. I get greedy because I'm playing from behind, and I should have just took more time, and I lose these Hold Warriors and Hold Raegh like early and for nothing. this is really it for turn 2. I don't really have much to talk about simply because my opponent's just being very aggressive right into my face with a lot of units, so I'm going to be playing majority on my own table side until I get everything and can push out again. So let's go to turn 3. Here's turn 3. We get the rest of my Flame Berserkers. So Flame Berserk, Flame Berserk, Flame Berserk and Hold Rays, double Ironclad. I think this is my entire list. I do get my Magmaforged into the side of the Morais. I then have my other unit of Magmaforged, and maybe I should have had them charge into this side and just wipe them out. But I didn't really want to be like face to face like that. My opponent does get his Morais into the back of my Magmaforged, but as you can see, I have a unit of Flame Berserkers ready to counter that. So hopefully that can, you know, all collapse into each other. I put this other unit of Flame Berserkers out. I'll do it in the Rouge here. These guys. Just to kind of start pushing up that side because I'm like, well, I got both Ironclads. I'll drop both Ironclads into Fallen Divinity. Hopefully that will kill her just with sheer volume of attacks. My opponent March charges the Fallen Divinity into the Flame Berserkers and does like 2 damage. I'm like, oh, okay, so now both Ironclads are just gonna collapse in on her. That'll be really good. And then my other unit of Flame Berserkers is looking into getting these bottle kids. Like, okay, so everything's on my side of the table, but I'm just gonna start killing your stuff. So here's the mistake I make. This cascades, and it's a little thing, and you don't think much about it, but because I'm playing from behind, it does matter. What matters is that I get aggressive with my Hold Warriors. I'm like, okay, Hold Raegh, Hold Warriors, you can fight Legionaries and win. Then you can take that zone and it'll be fine. My opponent drops the Curatids, who then take a bunch of shots at the Hold Warriors. That's not good. Now I'm in charge of Legionaries, and the Legionaries can come off that zone, and these Curatids can take it over, and it's just not a good spot. My opponent also brings up these Curatids on this side to kind of help out whatever's going on over there. And lastly, his Canaphores. And he has another unit of Legionaries who are going to be going to that zone, but that's fine. But he's currently not scoring anything. I'm not scoring anything. But these Canaphores, that's plenty of space for them to kind of, I'll do it in purple, like swing across here. And that's maybe why I should hold back my Magmaforged, because my Magmaforged are looking to get into the Cultists, but like with those Canaphores there, I'm just going to be trading Magmaforged for Cultists. I kind of need the Magmaforged to fight Canaphores. So it's kind of just like a damned if you do, damned if you don't. I need more force being pushed out at once, and I start trickling in stuff. So I'll just do it in yellow. Like, this is a bad move. This ends up being a bad move. I should have hung out more, kind of thing. Those Hold Warriors, I'll do it in Burgundy, should have been over here. Like, just fucking hang out. It's fine. So yeah, these 2 moves are going to cascade into, like, just bad moves. My opponent just charging the Fallen Divinity into Flame Berserker is a bad move because I'm going to kill this Fallen Divinity. So let's go to turn 4. Here's turn 4. Okay, so Flame Berserkers, Clash Fallen Divinity, then gets eaten by an Ironclad Drake. It's dead. Thank fuck. With this, though, I should have done the Drakes differently. I should have had this Drake go into her. What would have allowed this Drake to go this way? But I'm thinking, oh, we'll see how it goes, kind of thing. Like, I didn't know how it was gonna go because sometimes like dice get swingy. Because I had that unit of Flame Berserkers there who could have gone and fought these cultists and killed them instead of sending the Drake, and then the right side Drake, I'll just do it in orange because, you know, moved up here better. So like things could have like unpacked that side, because right now I have this Drake in orange facing the wrong way to continue. The issue I'm having now is that after I've killed the initial threats is that I had really no good way to unpack. This gets into like the next thing where I'm trying to get into the cultists, but I can't really, or else I'm going to get charged by Canaphores. I didn't really want to get charged by Canaphores, so I kind of make a play to not get charged by Canaphores. However, as you can see, like, both Morai are dead. Just do this. Both Morai are dead, and Flame Berserkers in there. I should have just had the Magmaforged just hang out. Wait until the Flame Berserkers can come up, and then collapse in on the Canaphores, deal with the Bottle Kids later. It's okay. So that is a mistake right there. Just do it in orange. Like, it's just because I'm playing from behind, I'm trying to play catch up. And these are just little mistakes that are cascading. And And this other unit of Magmaforged, I'm like, oh, I'll just run them into the zone because my opponent isn't denying that, but I can't reach it. And I'm like, I should just kind of hung out more. Like, I should have just succeeded this to my opponent and been like, here, you have that. I'm going to go reform and just march. I'll do it in Burgundy. Like, just push these 3 units in a united force against those 2. And been like, yeah, whatever. Go have that zone, it's fine. So, yeah. This could have been unpacked a lot differently. And that's a failure on my part, what kind of leads to me not... It's me playing insufficiently to, like, regain an advantage. Because right now my opponent is down 2 Morai, Fallen Divinity, Chirodeacon, and Cultists. And I'm down 1 unit of Flame Berserkers and a Hold Warrior unit. Like, I'm actually up on material. If you think about this in chess terms, I'm actually quite up a lot on material. I now need to, like, get my forces back into order and push all together, and I fail to do that, and that's one of the big reasons why this cascades into a loss. So let's get into, I believe, turn 5. I don't know if I took a photo of it. We'll find out. Yeah, so I didn't take a photo of turn 5, but things that happen. Canifers kill Magmaforge. They're dead. Ironclad Drake kills Bottle Kids. Oh no. Canifers kill Ironclad Drake. This is turn 6, by the way, so turn 6, kill that. Flame Berserkers, kind of get into a position to score and zone out Canifers. Magmaforge on the other side run into shots from these Canifers who just kind of kill the Magmaforge off. So my opponent now claims those 2 zones. Yay. What else am I doing? I kill these Canifers with the Ironclad and these Flame Berserks. I think the 2 units of Flame Berserks who go into here, they trade with the Legionaries. Like, the Flame Berserks go in and the Legionaries go in, and the Legionaries eventually die. And the Hold Warriors are literally, I'll just do it in Burgundy, or just set up to, like, side shuffle score between these 2 zones. That's it. But at this point, we're kind of evening out on material. My opponent's scoring zones. I'm not really scoring zones. The Ironclad Drake is basically out. I'll do it in orange. Out in fucking nowhere town. Like, a Flame Berserker unit should have been over there and could have just stuffed up that Canifers for the rest of the game, while the Ironclad Drake and the other Flame Berserk, I'll just do it in orange, could have, like, killed off those Legionaries and then swung this way and helped out. So those little mistakes that I mentioned last turn cascaded into this board state. So that's bad on me, and that's what I'm talking about, where, like, those little things where I should have reassessed my forces, rejiggered them, so that they can bring that unified front. My opponent's very spread out, and I then spread out to counter their spreading out, and that was bad of me. I should have just gone all together. One fights, keep pushing. I was just, really panicking because I'm so far behind, but I didn't realize after that Fallen Divinity, like, I had that great triumph of killing the Fallen Divinity, that it, I didn't take the time to reassess the situation and rejigger my forces. Because most of the time after you do that, you just cascade into your opponent, but my opponent's just, like, so far away from everything, that's super annoying. So I believe this is 6, so that's 6. Let's go to 7. Here's 7. We're just looking at each other, seeing if we can do anything cool. Yeah, that's it. We're turning off zones. I believe my opponent's up on scoring, and I'm trying to find a way to kill the Canifers, but I'm running out of time. What's a big one? Like, we're both scoring 2. He's scoring that, I'm scoring that. But yeah, like, we're really in a kind of a bad spot. My opponent I feel like, so my opponent knows if he takes me in a straight up fight, because I'm bringing more and more forces to bear to him, that he's going to lose, but he currently has the one-on-one ability with that Canifer unit to win fights. So I believe after this, he's going to go into, I don't know. He's gonna start trying to trade the Canifers for Flame Berserkers and give up some scoring to prevent me from killing the Canifers and then getting more zones and trying to win it out. He realizes that, and that's what's going to happen, I believe, on turn 8 or 9. So let's go there. Yeah, this is turn 9. So, Canifers kill off Flame Berserks. My Flame Berserks don't really have a... I was trying to baiting him, so these Flame Berserks ran around. I should have just ran my Flame Berserks into him, to be honest. I should have just fuck it and just ran the Flame Berserks in, give up on that scoring, keep his Canifers back. He would have had to, like, he probably would have just clashed. He's on tier 3 right now, so he would have just clashed and moved away, but that's fine. I would have, you know, been able to get more stuff in. But the Ironclad Drake's going to get there. We're still jockeying for position, and that's really it. Like, this Canifer unit is going to win the game because I couldn't bring enough force to bear. I believe this is 9, so, like, we kind of score a zone each, and then let's go to 10. Here's 10, so I believe I just move this guy over here, score my points. And I score this zone, and my opponent scores that, so we just kind of keep up on score. That's really it. Let's go to score. Like, I don't really have much to say. I've already talked about it. Here's 10. Okay, so 24-30. Good job, Will. We had a pretty close game. Like, actually, overall, a really good game, all things considered, simply because of how it turned out. The key takeaway is that, like, I can play from behind, but after I gotta make sure that I make those choices to then collapse back into my opponent, because my opponent is really spread out. I should have taken one turn to, like, make sure everything was in position before pushing again, what would have brought a unified front, and I failed to do that, and I spread out while my opponent was ahead and in a better spot, what cost me this game. So overall, really good game. Will and I are 1-1 into each other, and we want to play again. I would love to play again, because hopefully I'll get all my Flame Berserkers in on, like, turn 1 or 2 and not until turn 3, because doing that and playing from behind is a really tough spot. So let's get into round 3. Alright, so here's round 3. I'm playing into city-states. I'm playing into, like, the initiative city-states. We have Polomark with his lightsaber sword and his Thorakides hanging out over there. I believe this is Grind Them Down, and everyone's been playing this scenario wrong, myself included. You actually, the most points you can score in one turn is like 3 or 7 or sometimes even 1, and that's it, because you just have to, like, take a zone, and then it checks if you're taking, like, 2 zones, and that's it. And you need your, like, marker. Like, so I'll just do it in orange. If this is my marker zone, you get a zone +4 or +3. So it's like, what the fuck? This is so bad. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of Grind Them Down after finding out how the scoring actually works. And yeah, we're playing into city-states. I haven't played into city-states for quite a while, and they've changed a lot since I've last played. So, opponent going for a zone. I counter-deploy to go for a zone and go for the middle, because at least controlling the middle, I can kind of, like, cut off the table and hopefully just, like, make a scoring generation off 2 zones, and that's kind of what you want to do to win this. But yeah, you you really just want that. Okay, so yeah, it's turn 1. Let's go to turn 2. Here's turn 2. Lots of stuff going on. So get 2 more units of Flame Berserks, get a Kerawegh and Magmaforged. My opponent gets has a ton of flanks, so he's got both his what are these? Chariots they have flank on. He's got the Ogma and the Aristocrats on. He's got double Soranai. These are the Bogoats, and then a unit of Companion Cab. He has a second unit of Companion Cab and a Pestian that's going to be coming on as well. Also, yeah, and that's, yeah. So, he's got 10 more cards than me. I just kind of get into position, so Flame Berserkers in the woods to stay safe, not, get charged or shot by anything. Other Flame Berserkers start running up the table to start counter-threating anything. I'm looking for Magmaforged and these Flame Berserkers too. I score a bunch of points right now. My opponent does a little bit of a misplay over here. I'll do it in purple. By touching this zone with those Thorakides, he can't get 4 points off it later. But he can also just, I'll do it in purple, like shoot these, Thorakides over there. Companion Cab. Because I currently, in orange, have just nothing over here. In this scenario, I should have just kind of played the table like this, and I don't, and that costs me the game, and also just how initiative works and how far you can actually fling a regiment with initiative. I wasn't ready for that. Now that I know, I'll be good for next time. But that's really turn 2. We're really just positioning. He's kind of trying to bring a lot of force to bear onto me. I'm trying to set up to counter that, but turn 3 is going to be kind of some bad positioning turns on my part. So let's go to it. Here's turn 3. I run these unit of Magmaforged up here, so I get, I think, everything but the Hold Warrior unit. I think my opponent gets all their stuff. I put a unit of Magmaforged in that red square. I'm kind of setting up all my Ironclads. To be honest, knowing what was going to be happening, I should have just dropped both Ironclads, like, right behind them, and just been like, yo, eat double Ironclad and die, please. Would have been much better. But because of that, they, you know, as you can see, those Sarkees kill a Magmaforged unit. He does have the initiative go off, and I'll just do this in purple. He has the Thorkides, like, move up to here with initiative. And my Magmaforged could have gotten a charge into the flank, except I need a 4 with a reroll and I fail. And in retrospect, I probably should have taken the March charge. And then have him, like, try and fight me off and hopefully just kind of pin him there. You really just need to pin these units and just have them not fucking move. Because what happens now is that, truth be told, I'll do it in orange, none of these guys can see these guys very well. And if he gets his fluid formation off, he's just going to run away and I won't be able to get to him efficiently. And it's just going to cascade into me losing a bunch of stuff and him killing a lot of things with one unit where it really sucks. Goats, shoot at that guy. Companion cab, you know, looking to, I think they're not on the zone, they're just slightly off. My opponent gets, you know, he says I'm going to score this, he does, what's good on him. I bring a bunch of my Flame Berserks, start getting into a better position. I don't go for it. I thought about just running in there and getting stuck in with him this turn, but I just have, my other Flame Berserk units are too far behind to really be effective. This does cause, like, a chariot to shoot at me and, like, goats to shoot at me, and, you know, the companion cab get on the zone, what's fine. Oh, they're already there, it's fine. But he does bring up the Hephaestion to, like, try and block me out after these Flame Berserks hit. Flame Berserks can kill all these things, except maybe the Hephaestion, so he's hoping to peace trade that way. Magmaforged and the Kerawegh just kind of run up to support the Flame Berserks when things actually collapse there. And the chariots keep shooting. That's really what's going on there, but I don't know if I've overcommitted to the left side. I probably could have only put a Hold Warrior and an Ironclad there and just kind of threatened him. And just, I'll just do a black line and basically just done that with both the Hold Warrior and the Ironclad. And then bring the other Magmaforged, bring the other Ironclad. Like the other Ironclad, I'll just do it in purple, could have sat here. And the other Magmaforged could have just, like, ran up to help out that right side. Would have done really well. And just succeed the left side to my opponent and just kind of push out that way. Yeah, that's like the big takeaway learning from this game that I've done. All right, let's continue this game and see how the rest of it goes for me. Here's turn 4. So my opponent gets that sweet reform, charges into the side of my Ironclad, does a bunch of damage. I think the Ironclad smacks back, kills a couple. The other Ironclad, because the first one activated and killed a couple, can't actually reach them. And I think I fail a charge into them. That also sucks. I failed like 2 charges this game. It really sucked. The Thorkides kind of go in and kill the Hold Raegh, who I believe went onto the zone, you know, came up a little too close. With current city-states, especially with the fast city-states, you need to be really careful with your threat ranges. I didn't ask. What was a failure on my part, and so now I'm being punished for it. What else is going on? These guys continue shooting. Companion cab, scoring that zone. Good job. Getting a ton of points by switch swapping zones. The chariot continues the shooting. I back up here. And the reason why I back up is that I don't have really anything to go fight them. One MSU of Flame Berserkers isn't going to do very well. And it's just not doing well over there. The other Hold Warrior unit comes on finally. He's looking to make his way into that zone right in front of him so I can get the scoring going. I also made a misplay where I declared that this is going to be my zone. I'll just do it in orange. A couple misplays here. This will be my zone. Fails to do it. Because I thought I was going to kill that Thorkide unit. My opponent wouldn't really commit anything because there's no reason to commit anything. But I just like march charge and clash as much stuff as I can to get Flame Berserks into this chariot, shutting that down. Flame Berserks into this Sarai. What kills them, shuts that down. He had to move the Hephaestion over because he was stuck behind the companion cab who are engaged. He kills off a stand. So yeah, like right now I kind of had to march charge a bunch of stuff just to keep, like, finally forcing engagement. He wins the range threat, so I really just kind of have to take these poorer plays and then just trade up efficiently. So that is round 4. Let's get into round 5. Here's round 5. Ironclad into the back of... I forget what these are. Thrower keys. Kills them. Yay, good Ironclad. On the other hand, I believe the Magmaforged charged into the Ogmas, didn't do a ton of damage, and the Ogmas literally just Inspired Clash, killed, and then reformed this way. Nice. Both my opponent and I put our zones here because that's the only thing we can actually legally score, both of us, so and I score it. Flame Berserks charge into the Bestian, does like a couple wounds, and the Bestian kills them. Other Flame Berserks kill the Chariot. Fuck that thing. I think it died. Like, I forget how I killed it. It had like 1 wound left. I think I just clash it or something. Then we have the Companion Cab and the other Flame Berserk unit are basically just trading into each other. That's really it. These guys lose a stand, but I'm being aggressive towards that Chariot, so it stays off the zone. That's really it. Not doing so well, to be honest. Not doing very well at all. Hopefully that other Ironclad can do a ton of work. Probably not, but that's okay. Let's get into turn 6. Here's turn 6. Ogma, kill the Ironclad. So, Illinois start making their way that way. Companion Cab, your whole job, I'll just do it in purple, is going to be scoring these 2 zones for the rest of the game. You have locked down that side, well done. Chariot shoots and kills the Flame Berserks, gets into the zone, so my opponent's like, 1, 2, 3, doing well over there. I myself, I got these 2 zones. I get these other Uniflame Berserkers on the side of Hephaestion and kill it, and then the other Uniflame Berserkers goes and kills off these Chariots. So Hephaestion dead, Chariot's dead, so that's really good there. Losing the left side with some poor plays and not like making a wall right here is costing me the game, because now I'm trying to wait out my opponent, but he has enough stuff and he's fast enough where he's just going to come across and wipe out the remainder of these units. So let's get into turn 7. Here's turn 7. Chariot kills off my last Flame Berserker. Yay. Flame Berserkers and Hold Warriors, they're literally looking to just Dude in Rouge, like, score this, move out, score this, move out, just capitalize as much points as possible. The rest of my opponent, he's just making his beeline over. I'm not gonna wax or wane about this very much at all. And then we have these guys who are once again looking to score these 2 zones. All right, that's I believe that's it for 7. I think that's a good 8. Okay, here's 8. Opponent shooting across the table. Chariot shooting across the table, taking some shots on Hold Warriors. Hold Warriors in the woods, they're fine. As you can see, I'm doing that thing again where I'm in and out, so scoring that zone. Illinois just running, like really everyone's just running. I'm in 2 pieces of like obscuring terrain, so I'm doing good there. And as you know, this guy doing his thing, he's scoring. There he is. He scored. So yeah, good job on that. All right, next turn. Let's clean up stages. What else you got for me? 9 gets his Ogma unit into the Hold Warriors, kills my Hold Warriors, reforms. Flame Berserk say, fuck it, we ball. We charge into the Ogma, kill a bunch. Chariot comes off the zone. He's shooting, doing whatever stuff. These guys are trying to come for my Flame Berserkers. I say, screw that. I'm not going to die on my back. And that's why I just run off and go fight. This Companion Cab unit is having the time of their lives right now, just scoring these zones. Alright, last turn. I kill the Ogma. They die. Good. Fuck them. And I'm on the zone. Yay. So I'm scoring that for some fucking reason. Illinois, I think they shoot at me but don't really do much damage. The Chariot, he just runs back. He's like, screw this. I'm getting out of here. And once again, like, this is just happening. So yeah, that's it. That's turn 10. Let's go look at the score. Here's turn 10. Pretty close, actually. 32 to 34. So if I played a little better, I think there was a turn there where I fucked up on what to score. I could have got an extra couple points to either tie it up or, how do I say, or win even from playing from behind, but the big one was not understanding initiative, and the other big one was not playing a declined flank very well, and also not having my things be able to see how far forward and handling fluid. I got caught off guard by that, what resulted into a loss. So currently I'm 1-2, not doing so great in Saskatoon 2. So let's go into round 4. So here's round 4. I'm playing Bernie, who's Winnipeg local. He is playing his Wadroon tribes while I'm playing my Raegh Goons Flame Berserkers. Turn 1, I get all my Flame Berserkers on, all 4 cards. It's really good. I spread out a little bit. Big things off the bat is these 2 buildings and that funnel right there. Tons of wide space over here to play with, so I'm really looking for just kind of like holding this side and then just doing a lot of work on the right side there. We'll see how that goes. Bernie holds his slingers back because he's looking to like kind of bait me by not having them out right away. But I guess fine. I'm looking to get on the zones really early, and I'm kind of setting myself to do that while also hiding in the woods to keep myself safe from gunshots. That's turn 1. Let's go to 2. Here's turn 2. I get both my Magmaforged and Kerawegh. Yay! So like actually pretty good for rolls. Bernie gets his big block of vets and his Chosen. Chosen on the big flank there in that wide open area is really good. He's got a lot of movability with triple activation, speed from Conquest and evasion, and he also has the upgrade for Blessed when they triple chant. So they're going to be doing a lot of work, and they can strike from very far away. Slinger unit. Oh yeah, he only has 1 slinger unit. Slinger unit finally comes out, and I believe I want to say that's a unit of vets right there. His vets are looking to get onto the zone. I don't think he took the Vanguard upgrade, so everyone's just running at regular speed. Hunting pack, you know, they're starting to kind of go this way because he's looking to kind of come out from there. I start spreading my stuff out, especially now I know where the slingers are. So trying to protect the zone and score it. There we go. And on the other side, realizing that I'm gonna get shot by slingers, I just kind of stay in the woods right there with those Flame Berserkers. The other Flame Berserkers stay out of range. The Magmaforged are looking to come up and help and just plug that hole after Flame Berserkers die. I have no reason to be aggressive right now. I'm just kind of hanging back and waiting until I have enough concentrated mass to just kind of throw out my opponent. I'm really looking at this building right here to kind of split his forces while hopefully keeping enough of mine in one spot. Like if I can dump something here, that can split either way for whatever side needs help. And that's currently the game plan. So let's go to turn 3. Also, I score both these zones. My opponent only scores 1. So we're doing good. Here's turn 3. I get both my Hold Warriors and my Hold Raegh and 1 Ironclad. My opponent gets his Apex. I think those are Braves. Blooded. There we go. Okay, so things that are going on here. He puts these hunting pack in this way so that he's trying to bait me with my Flame Berserkers. I'm like, no, I don't really care. I don't want to get... I have no reason to come off the zone right now. I kind of side deploy in such a way that he has less veterans on me if he goes for it. And his hunting pack are going to have to reform in a stupid way to like get to me. But he was trying to like bait my Flame Berserkers to come and hit the hunting pack and then get charged by the vets. And I was like, no, I'm not doing that. And I just kind of hang out to score that zone. He does go for the long bomb with the Chosen of Conquest. Rams his cock down my throat, kills off a unit of Flame Berserker, it's not very good. I counter with shoving the Magmaforged in his side, but with Evasion 2 and Blessed, he like keeps a bunch of them alive. So I follow up with an Ironclad in the face to hopefully kill off the Chosen and allow the Magmaforged to reform, because he then counter deploys with the Apex, who's looking to eat the flank of the Magmaforged. So, not really good there. That's kind of the right side. Hold Raegh, he's looking to get into the zone, just sit there for the rest of the game, to be honest. On the left side, shots are coming in. Shots. So he's shooting at me. I just kind of start moving up in a position to keep him out of the zone and, like, clap onto anything that's coming at me. And the Hold Warriors in the back are literally there just to plug in the hole after both Flame Berserkers and the Magmaforged die to just kind of stall that out. I believe the real fight's going to be happening on the right side, because that's where I'm going to be deploying a lot of my Ironclads, just to kind of collapse that right side, because there's a lot more movability there. My opponent, he knows my strategies of just kind of like running forward and then just kind of gumming up his whole work. So that's why he's put his Blooded. But this Blooded is kind of like too far back and should have hopped his Slingers to then like push Force through. The Braves are there to free up the big block of Vets on the other side, what's really good. But right now they're kind of stuck behind Vets. That's fine. The Vets are scoring that zone. He can move them over where he needs to. And his other Blooded are literally looking to side charge me if I ever come into his Veteran. So he's setting up a lot of traps. He's scoring zones and points. I'm up on points. And the thing that I'm going to be doing is I'm going to try and shut off his scoring with the Ardent Kerawegh and try and keep my point lead as this game goes on, because he has a lot of very good effective units. That Chosen Conquest, what killed one Flame Berserker unit, already doing a lot of work and not dying in retaliation. Kind of sucks. Alright, let's go to turn 4. Here's turn 4. The peace trade happens. Cock kills Magmaforged. Fucking great. Ironclad kills Cock. Awesome. They're dead. Thank fuck this is over. We dirtle around a bunch. I believe I kind of go for it at some points. Like, my opponent moves up his Veterans right here, and then, you know, I go for it. I believe I try and get these other Flame Berserks into his Slingers, and I either fail the roll. I think I failed the charge roll, to be honest. I just kind of end up there, and the Veterans just kill as their Flame Berserker unit. That results in like the Magmaforged kind of dirtling behind, because I think those other Magmaforged died and I had them as my first card, and I had to dirtle with the other Magmaforged. I should just put both Magmaforged at the bottom, to be honest. Just been like, accepted my fate. Like, unless both of them are fighting, it was kind of like, oh great, one's dead and now the other one has to kind of, I'll do it in Burgundy, dirtle around right there. But then, you know, the Hold Warriors are like literally right behind, and I'm just like, oh my god. My opponent, thinking that I was going to do something else, moved these Veterans first. Because he's like, he kills that, then he goes into those Veterans, and I'm like, oh, okay, well, you haven't done anything with your Hunting Pack, so I just charge him in with, like, the Flame Berserkers into the Hunting Pack. Immediately kills those guys off. Other Ironclad Drake is coming up to support the other Ironclad, because I have to go kill that, Apex Predator, who just kind of, like, shimmies over. It's like, well, I don't want to fight that, because he knows he can kill one Ironclad but not the others, and that's just a death trap. So now I gotta kind of bait him. So I'm gonna trade an Ironclad for an Apex, and then hopefully my other Ironclad can do an orange, can like swing around this way. So we're playing footsies with each other over there. Hold Warrior, you know, claim that zone. Those guys claim that zone. You know, we're tied up on points, scoring. Go from there. And yeah, that's kind of it. So far, we're gonna see how the Vets do into Flame Berserks, and if the Hold Warriors want to hold off the Vets, and if the Ironclads can beat the Apex, and then, you know, collapse onto the left side and kind of wipe that hole out, and hopefully off an Ironclad that can just run across and get into the backline of the other side. So let's go to turn, oh, I don't know, this is probably 5. Yeah, let's go to turn 5. Here's turn 5. So big thing what happened here is that my opponent killed something that didn't get to activate or had more cards than me, and I had to deploy both my Ironclads into the trap position. But I deployed both of them, so my opponent finally went in and hurt one of them, so put him down really low, and I wasn't able to initially counterattack because I was hoping that I would have one ready for the trap and the other one ready to counter. And you know, immediately go in after he goes in, but he had a card up on me, what resulted in me not getting it, so he does a bunch of damage to one. What's gonna just kind of delay this by a turn. Veterans go into Flame Berserkers, but because it's only one stand contacting, doesn't kill it off, and I'm like, that's fine, they can sit there, I'm okay with that. Also, it looks like I might be on that zone. Yeah, it looks like I'm on that zone, but he has tons of scoring stands right now, so he's gonna score that, which is fine. Flame Berserkers going into Veterans. Veterans and Slingers just killing those Flame Berserkers. Kerawegh, I'll do it in Burgundy. Cast the no score spell on those guys, shutting them down. So my opponent's not scoring a zone. I'm scoring 2 zones, and that's kind of how I'm going to keep up on points. Hold Warriors just kind of hanging out behind the Magmaforged. Magmaforged are going to have to go in there at some point and kind of start, you know, killing more stuff, gumming that up. As you can see, my opponent is kind of just shifting around these Blooded, trying to get into those side charges. But the big thing is that there's just this line of, it's really hard to move through that, and I want to just keep them over there as much as possible while I try and win the right side engagement. All right, let's go to, I don't know, turn 6 or something. Here's turn 6. Big things would go on. Apex kills Ironclad. Ironclad kills Apex. Good. Opponent wins the roll-off. Other things that go on. Kerawegh beats up a bunch of veterans and turns off scoring, and actually I think he just manages to resolve. Old Warriors, you hang out on the zone. Slingers did a bunch of attacks, blooded in the side. Like, there's a ton of stuff going on here, but like the Magmaforged are holding on, and that is for 6 stands of contesting, even though they're broken compared to my opponent's 4 right now. So they're not scoring that zone, and I'm scoring both these zones. I do something really cheeky. The veterans kill off that Flame Berserker unit. I'll just do it in red right here. And I reform in side march. I'll do it in orange. The hold ray in his unit. And he basically says if any part of his regiment is touching his zone, he scores it. So I have both the hold ray's regiment in both zones. So I score both zones even if I have 1 stand. And he has his blooded backed up behind his vets. So he can't really unpack the vets because he has nowhere to go, and the vets are preventing the blooded, or the hold ray, the vets are preventing the braves from getting into the hold ray, and if the veterans go into the hold warriors, the Ironclad's just going to charge them in the ass and start eating that. What's A-okay on my end, but that 3-zone capture is going to score me a ton of points to keep me in this game and keep me in the lead. So that's really good. Let's go, I don't know, it was probably 7 now? Here's turn 7. My opponent totally goes for that vet play into my hold warriors and kills them all. I shove an Ironclad Drake into his ass. However, it does prevent the veterans from, dude, purple, getting into the side of the Ironclad Drake because the Braves they're Braves getting into the side of the Ironclad Drake simply because the veterans are still in the way. However, he is scoring that zone. Over here, Magmaforged and vets trade. They die with each other. The blooded move in, kill off the Magmaforged. Old warriors just kind of hang out. They're just backing up. They're like, oh, fuck that. My opponent goes for a charge into the ejecta marker and like does a damage. I think he like slings it and then charges it, but then doesn't do any damage on the impact because he can like chant for impact or something. I forget exactly what it is. But he doesn't do any damage, and so now he's stuck on that ejecta marker right there. What's fine with me. I'm scoring 1 zone, he's scoring 2. And he has the other blooded unit still kind of stuck in the back. We were talking about this later. I'll just do it in like this purpley color. You should have like a brave unit or a blooded unit just fucking long bomb in the back here to pull me away off my zone and threaten it, because he's going to be jammed up where this black line is, and that was kind of like something he should have done. And it seems like both Dweghom players did that, but led to a victory in myself. So that's turn 7. Let's go into 8. Here's turn 8. Braves into Ironclad. I believe the Ironclad just clashes, kills the vets, and then just charges into the Braves. What puts on enough stands to contest that zone, so I'll just put a line through it, and then the Braves clash back into the Ironclad, but doesn't do a ton of damage. Hold warriors, what the heck do I think that my opponent with his blooded just kind of reforms and gets them out. The hold warriors then charge into the blooded, just try and kill them, but now he's got to like commit his other blooded. I'll do it in a different color. Screw it. Screw it. There we go. I'll do it in a different color. There we go. Purple. He's got to commit his other blooded just to make sure that he wins that, and he's not going to open up a hole, and he's also kind of just jammed in there. I'm very much fine with this play, and the big reason why is because these guys, these slingers, are still fucking fighting an ejecta marker. And I'm like, yep, you can have it. I don't care. Go ahead. That's all yours. So right now I'm scoring 2 zones to my opponent's 1. Yeah. All right. Next turn. Braves dead. I'm on both zones. Sweet. Hold warriors fighting Braves. They just kind of stall out. Hold warriors lost 2 stands. The slingers finally kill the ejector marker, and I think they sling into the side of the hold warriors. That was a big one. So they just go but leaves me with 1 stand with 5 wounds. The blooded weren't doing much, and he's still scoring that zone. I'm not scoring the other zone, but I have the other side, so I don't really care. And I think he kills those hold warriors, but he has to do with like the blooded or something. So this is either 9 or 10. So let's go to the next slide. Yeah, so the other blooded kills off my hold warriors was fine, and then they just shimmy. So this one unit of blooded basically just did nothing the entire game, but really sucked. And I just have these 2 zones, so there we go. Victory for Dweghom. Focused on the zones in the scenario. Won the game. Let's check out the score. There's a score. You can see that big turn where I scored like 3 zones. Wow, that is way too big. That right there really pushed me above my opponent, and I kind of went from there while also keeping them stuck on one zone and contesting the other one. Overall, really good game with Bernie. He did really well. Peace trading, watching out for threats, making sure that I wasn't playing the game that I wanted to play. Very much played his game. Some of the mistakes, though, is that one Brave unit basically was stuck in the back the entire game. His slingers charging the ejector marker probably shouldn't have. We kind of talked about his positioning with those slingers, where he might have had a better option on the other side where it was more open, instead of how like gummed up that those buildings and ejector marker were. And then also like going around with the hunting pack instead of trying to like bait me with the hunting pack. Like his veterans are pretty strong, just fucking go in with the veterans. His Chosen of Conquest, they did really well, but weren't supported that well. So they kind of like, even though they killed 2 regiments, which is still very good, don't get me wrong, very, very good. Most of the time it doesn't go that way, and they just kind of get clobbered. So he kind of shot them forward, they died, and then just didn't really have any follow-up and didn't want to commit an apex to it. So yeah. Yeah, that's the tournament. I got 2-2. I think I came in like 8th or 7th or something. I forget exactly. Overall, it was really good. Old Dominion, I recognize my mistakes. City States recognize my mistakes. The Wadroon games, I feel pretty good into Wadroon, but I don't play much into Old Dominion and City States, especially lately. So hopefully those games will kind of, kickstart me like understanding. And I should have asked questions with the City States. I should have played more into flank in the City States, and it would have been better. Also, grind them down and doing proper marker choices would have either led me to a victory, because I would have been 1 point up, or tied with my opponent. Into the Will game, I should have, after kicking out all the stuff that he just jammed down my throat, I should have consolidate my forces and then pushed out as one united front, instead of splitting up all my forces once again to try and chase him down. What cost me, even taking that 1 turn to like regroup, would have led to a victory, because then I could have just like forced trades better and like kill this stuff more effectively. But yeah, overall, really good tournament. Thank you to Jeff for hosting the Saskatoon round 2, and hopefully he does another one and I can come back for round 3, because I always have an enjoyable time in the Saskatoon meta. Thank you very much for watching. Listen to the podcast, like and subscribe, and I hope you guys all have a great day. Bye!